Um, Gosh, if you haven't heard, folks, I'm sorry to say. We recently, last night, found out that Drake Hogestyn, who plays John Black on Days of Our Lives, passed away from pancreatic cancer. So we had to quickly change our plan for today. Today we were going to have a great time talking to Connie, talking to Julie Dove, who plays Connie. But given the quick change of events and the terrible, tragic news that we heard, we needed to make a very quick change of plans. And so here we are, unstructured, massively unprepared for a conversation like this. But we're going to dedicate the next hour of conversation to the life and the career of Drake Hogestyn. Hi, everybody. It's me, Matt.
Hi, everybody. It's Kat, and and Julie Dove will be with us. We're just going to delay it for a little bit, but she will still be joining us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Angela.
And that's
Hi.
Angela. Angela. We don't have the energy that we usually do. But it's not just us here today. We got Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly, Vita, Jeannie, and Michelle. Hello, welcome to the chat. Welcome to Days for Dummies. And today's lesson plan, the syllabus is John Black. It's Drake Hogestyn. I don't really know what to say or how to start. On one hand, this was something that we as a show were mentally as unprepared for as you possibly can be. My camera froze. Hi. Oh, God. Okay, we're back to normal. Better. We being podcasters, there is information that we come across and know about before it's made known to everybody else. And this is something that we knew that Drake was experiencing and dealing with.
We were really praying for a different outcome.
But other than we knew that he was dealing with this situation, that was the only information that we had. We didn't know where he was in any sort of treatment process, how he was responding to any of them, what his plans were for the future or anything like that. So we had just been kind of moving along, watching Drake, enjoying John Black, wondering when this information was going to come out. And I am incredibly heartbroken that it has come out a day after, on his birthday, which is today, by the way.
Yeah, today's his birthday. He would be 71 today.
He hasn't filmed since June.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I knew that. And I think at first I thought that they were going to do an off-screen death for him, but then after Martha Madison made her post, I think they might be doing it on screen.
Oh, interesting. What was Martha Madison's post?
Martha Madison plays his daughter Belle.
Belle, right?
On Days of Our Lives.
Last we saw Belle, she and Sean Douglas left town, or not left town, but split and fell off the show, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, they refer to Belle on the show occasionally, like she's there, but she's just not on screen.
Yes.
Days does that regularly.
Hi, Lara.
So Martha posted, it's a long post, but he's the part she, so I'll go ahead and read the whole thing, but she said, "The day the world lost a great man, Salem lost its greatest hero, and I lost one of my favorite scene partners. With a heart full of baseball, Drake was the embodiment of teen spirit and mentored so many of us at Days like a true team captain. He was also a cheerleader. One of my favorite memories of Drake was from not too long ago. He knew I was super nervous as I was preparing to deliver a 5-page deathbed monologue. And after we finished the scene, both soaked in tears and snot, he gave me a hug and whispered, 'Kid, it was like that moment when you hear the crack of a bat against a long ball that flies into the stands and the crowd goes wild.' I always knew if I was working with him that I would need to spend a little extra time on my scene prep. He was always off book and word perfect. And in 20 years, I don't think I ever remember him holding a script. More than that, he was always ready to play. He loved diving into our father-daughter dynamic, and there was no place I could go in a scene where he wasn't exactly right there with me. Drake was full of enthusiasm and humor, and always told the most amazing stories. He loved being an actor and always showed grace and gratitude when it came to his work and his fans. He loved his family deeply and was over the moon to be a grandfather. I'm sending my deepest sympathies to his family and to all the cast and crew and fans who have loved him for decades. Rest in peace, Drake.
That's
Oh,
lovely.
goodness.
But that sounds like she has a 5-page deathbed monologue with him. So,
Because you don't remember a 5-page deathbed anything.
and she also said it was from not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, well, it sounds like they are going to do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the tough part about having a human being play the character of John Black for so long, is that one is the other is the one, to a degree, to a sense, to the people who have watched him for so long. Drake Hogestyn is John Black. So for Drake Hogestyn to go, and we've seen this now a couple of times on Days of Our Lives as the second generation maybe of popular Days actors are leaving us. Bill Hayes and John Aniston, Drake Hogestyn, but they get taken from us. They get taken from us as viewers, as fans. We don't know them as people. We're not around them to be around their bed in their last moments and go through this journey with them. But we are able to watch the characters that we've loved for so long on television. And when the actor is taken from us, before the character is able to get a conclusion, there is a sense of missing, of incompleteness in the stories that we've been watching. So if they had an opportunity, knowing that pancreatic cancer is very difficult to survive, seeing the writing on the wall and understanding how much the fans loved John Black, I hope that the show had the opportunity to give the character the conclusion that the character has deserved.
yes.
It isn't going to be a plane crash off screen. It isn't going to be, I didn't wake up the next morning. I mean, it might be, but something that's impactful and something to put a final period that is on the life of John Black.
Right.
Maybe something family related, because that's still the biggest question mark of all, is it not? I don't even know. Is it time to introduce something new about John Black? Do we just put, I don't know how to write this. I don't know how to approach this.
I don't know that there really would be a reason to, because, they settled the story, he has the good father, Laura had a question. She said, I avoid info sites on purpose. So was it known, or was the fact that he was sick hidden? It was not known. Days did not release it. He did not release it. And the people that get information that knew wanted to respect that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we weren't going to be the first person.
Including the three of us. Including the three of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's something, gosh, I don't even remember when I learned. It was a number of months ago.
I think I found out in February or March, and I was just like, no, not him.
It wasn't that long after Day of Days that we found out. And that was last October.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah.
Hi, Michelle.
It wasn't that long after that we found out, maybe 3 months or so.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure of my own timeline of information. I just know that I've just been ignoring it and crossing my fingers and hoping for the best. I would say that there's been a lot less John Black on the show ever since I learned than there was before, and so that's definitely been prominent of mind on me.
Sure. Just the amount of days he had on screen told us that he was in treatment, or he would have been on screen more.
Yeah. So I'm wondering because I don't know what to expect from the show, because as we mention all the time on this podcast, they film so far ahead, and Angela said that he didn't film past June. So the last 3 months, has been John Black free on the soundstage, but maybe that's because of the 5-page monologue that he did with Belle. Maybe he was finished at that point. I don't know. There's a whole lot of maybes out there because we
just don't
we
know.
don't really directly know these people. Don't come here for the news. All of that normal stuff, I make a joke. Like, it's also very real in situations like this.
I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine playing your character's death and knowing that there's a good possibility that's right around the corner for yourself. For yourself,
I would want
just can't
to.
imagine.
I agree with that as well. I think about, he's been on the show since 1986.
Yeah.
And he is so devoted to the show and so devoted to the fans that I really think that I could picture if somebody was going to do it, it would be Drake. If somebody was going to give that piece of himself to the fans and to his show, it would absolutely be Drake.
Yeah. I know that Angela hears these comparisons too often over hanging out with Vinny on Suds in the Squared Circle, but soap operas and pro wrestling are very similar. Especially in those who participate in it, those who are playing the characters. The wrestlers who step between the ropes, and then the soap actors as well. There is something that gets in your blood. You can see it. You can see it with soap actors decades wide. They leave, they try to do something else, and then they miss it. They retire, they take some time off, and then they miss it. And they come back and they do it some more, and they do some more scenes, some more stories with these characters. So I would think that somebody who's played a character since 1986, or somebody like Julie on the show dealing with Bill/Doug, would want to bring this stuff to the show because it has been such a large part of their life that it is their life to a degree.
Absolutely.
I can't say for certain because I've never played a character for 30 years, nor have I really in-depth talked to an actor who's played one for 30 years. But the other self of that must be incredibly prominent.
Yeah.
I am Drake Hogestyn, and I am also John Black.
Yeah, it's an integral part. That is who he is.
I totally agree with you. I think it was, I think him doing this is a love letter to the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully Angela's interpretation of events is correct, because if you were able to write your own way out, and I'm not even saying like if I was able to write my own John Black way out, no, just write my own way out of this planet for me as Matthew Theall, I would want to be able to finish the John Black story. I would want to. I can't say that he, I have no idea. I've never faced something like that, so I can't say what I would think in the moment. But sitting here separate from it all, not facing down the barrel, that's how I feel. I feel like I would want to bring it to the set. And I think of people like, remember Desperate Housewives, Mrs. McCluskey?
Oh, I sure do. Yes.
Yeah. So in it, she worked with Mark Cherry, who's the creator and showrunner of Desperate Housewives. She went to him and said, you know what? I'm an elderly actress. Every character I've played for like the last 10 years dies by the end of the project. I would love for Mrs. McCluskey to live to the end. Then the actress gets diagnosed with breast cancer again. She knows that it's not going to work out this time.
Right.
And so she goes back to Mark Cherry and says, you know what, Mark? Let's work this into the show with her. Let's use this to drive plot in some way. So they give Mrs. McCluskey the exact same experience that the actress had, Catherine Hogestyn, I think her name was. And she solves the problem, saves the day, saves the ladies, and ultimately passes. And then 2 weeks later, so does the actress.
I remember.
So I do sincerely feel as though that if an actor feels a deep connection to the character that they're playing, they want to do those moments.
Yeah.
Not to belabor a point or anything.
Yeah. Painful or not.
But I mean, pain is a part of life. You know, when you're an actor and you're diving into these characters, you don't want to just play the happy moments. You want to play the messy moments. You want to play the hurt, the sad, the angry moments where you throw something on the wall. Or when you're too sick to get up, and then now you're like, you want to have this variety of experience with the characters that you're playing. So.
And Drake sure did have that, didn't he?
He
Yeah.
did. He
He
did.
sure had that.
Man,
Yeah.
the energy of Drake and John Black is unique. It's something that I really hadn't seen or experienced from another soap character or soap actor before. There's been characters that I've enjoyed, usually the lighthearted, more fun ones I like. I like Stuart Chandler. I like Marty Gray, he's lighthearted. I like Tad Martin. I like, I like a number of the characters in Days of Our Lives because none of it is too serious.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is goofy. So
Oh,
there's
Leo is just fun as can be, isn't
right,
he?
but there was something incredibly unique about the John Black energy that nobody else could do. And he was able to legitimize the goof that John Black is in such an interesting way.
Well, like he said,
He just
like he
really
said in
threw
our,
himself into it. He just,
well, like he said in our interview, Matthew and I had a chance to interview him at Day for Days and a Day of Day. No, it was at the Emmys. It was at the Emmys, not Dave.
Yeah, the red carpet.
And he made a reference that you always just swing for the fences. Doesn't matter if it's goofy and silly. You swing for the fences.
Yeah.
him with the baseball metaphors.
Yeah.
Yes. And when he said that, I was like, what? He's got a baseball background, because our family does, of course. But he did. He played pro baseball.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was drafted twice. He was second pick. Second pick is first out. His first time out, he's second pick.
Okay. All right. Do you know what team it was that drafted him?
I don't remember, but I know the second team. I don't remember the first team, but the second team he was drafted. That didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted for the Yankees as well.
Oh,
Not
wow.
second pick, but he played for the Yankees as well. And then from what I understand, and I don't know what the injury was, but he had an injury that took him out of baseball. He had a bright future in pro ball. He did. He must have had some great talent. I don't know if he played in college or high school. I'm sure he played in high school, but I don't know if he went to college. He might have been right out the gate and went to
St. Louis Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay.
And here's another. He graduated with a double major in microbiology and applied sciences.
So he was smart.
Then.
He played third base until he was injured in 1977.
Yeah, I know that he got injured and it took him out of the game and it took him out permanently. And it turns out that he was just as good as actor as he was a baseball player.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being like, I'm going to go play ball. It's going to be great. Oh, no, I got hurt. I'll just be an actor instead.
And of course, from what I understand, he's been married for a very long time, has a couple of kids, great family guy as well.
He married his childhood sweetheart in 1986.
Wow.
They were married the entire time. They have 4 kids. They have some grandkids, I think, at least one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he had been married as long as he had been on Days.
That's awesome.
Matthew was born in 1986.
I was. So, you mentioned the red carpet interview that we did, which is on YouTube, folks. Just if you search 10th floor Drake Hogestyn, it'll be like the first result that comes up if you can't find it in the channel library. They're connecting on to what I was saying before about the unique energy of Drake Hogestyn. It was palpable in that interview as well. If you take a look at it and just watch him through the whole thing, the amount of attention that he pays, not only to me and my mom, but also the co-stars that he's known for half of his life.
Right.
I don't even know how to really translate it into words. Go watch it, go see. And what really hangs on for me, and this is a look. This is just a look, not even a word, nothing, just a look that he gave that has stuck with me even before all of this stuff this weekend where we find out and are reflecting and remembering. But before then, just when I was thinking about John Black, when I was thinking about podcasting, when I was thinking about the red carpet and possibilities of doing events like that again, he gave me, this look as we were walking away, just before I turned off the camera, that screamed, "You guys did great."
No.
Just the look that he gave was just like, that was good. Whether it was genuine or not, I don't know, man. But it's just his eyes, his nose, his mouth are just seared into my mind of what I interpreted as silent praise.
You felt like you got an attaboy, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Kelly says I saw that, Matt. Well, great, Kelly. Thank you for making me not feel like I'm nuts.
Matt, I just sent you Drake's minor league baseball card.
You just sent it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah,
Let me
I
see if I
mentioned
can
him
share
to my oldest son this morning. I mentioned Drake to my oldest son this morning at breakfast, and I said, he's a pro baseball player, and my oldest son is like, that's he lives and breathes baseball, and and he's like immediately looked, oh yeah, he did this and he did this and he did. Good. Wow, that's cool, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're sure gonna miss John Black, aren't we?
We really are. We're gonna miss him like crazy. So I'm sharing it on the screen a little bit for us now, kind of below us. It's not the prettiest presentation of things, but watch it anyway. And we got the Drake Hogestyn infielder baseball card from the 60s on there. Ma, you'll have to just take a look at the 70s. Ma, you'll just have to take a look at the replay, I guess.
I will.
But yeah, that is
his
young.
first name. His first real name is Donald. Donald Drake.
Oh yeah, it says Don Hogestyn right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don Hogestyn, infielder number 21, or at least year 21. I don't know. Maybe he's number 55. That looks like a Yankees uniform, to be honestly.
It is. It was It was because he was in the. You don't go directly to the big leagues. He was drafted by the Yankees. He was played for their minor league. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, this is young Drake Hogestyn. Same smile, looks like same infectious good guy energy. Right here on this, just smiling, just proud as can be to be sitting on this ball field. Really.
Yeah.
Like Ma, like when you see this, you're gonna see how genuinely excited he seemed to be.
Well, it's just because he's sitting there and his dreams come true.
Yeah.
That's why he's sitting there and his own dreams come true. It's awesome.
Laura says, look how young he is. Well, I mean, that's only 10, like, what was that? You said it was 1977? So that was
77 was when he got hurt. So it would have been in that first couple of years after he graduated.
So we'll say this was 12 years before Days of Our Lives. We'll just say as a blanket number, 12 years before Days.
But the smile's the same.
The same man. That is the exact same man.
What year was he born?
Same smile that he was
1950 something. I have it all on me.
He's going to be 71 today.
Yes.
Oh, 53. Yeah.
So
he would have been 71 today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he means he probably graduated from high school about 1971. He's 70, 71. So
went to college.
Races for baseball right after that, I'm sure.
Well, happy heavenly birthday, John Black. I mean, you get to party with God for your birthday. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't get to party directly with God on my birthday.
Well, I thought about that too. I mean, I know that not everybody's the same in their spirituality. I know, and we don't all have the same beliefs necessarily, but I choose to believe that he's celebrating his birthday in the most grand fashion of all on the Field of Dreams. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. The Field of Dreams. Oh gosh, Field of Dreams. I mean, it's just been a rough time for celebrities that we all know and love. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of celebrities. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's been tough. It's been tough in Soapland too. So many legends. What's going on with this damn camera?
Hollywood, you guys. Hollywood is aging. We have a lot of celebrities, a lot of talented people that are getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
I say the meat of Hollywood, of when it comes to legends and experience are between the ages of 60 and 80 years old. A lot, including your Brad Pitts and your George Clooney's and all that group.
That's true.
Your Julia Roberts, all of those folks, they're not spring chickens anymore.
Mm.
None of them are really.
No.
I mean, of course, we've got our young ones coming up, but our true legends are,
I mean, you have to
They
reach
came
a
out,
certain.
they've had a few spins on this hot ball.
You need to have a certain amount of experience before you're a legend, right? So I guess it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Well, God bless soaps. Then thank
Right.
goodness that soaps exist, because there was actually a picture that came up of over on General Hospital, the of Nancy Lee Grant and Allie Mills in their prison garb. And they're being like, "Oh, look at us! Look, taking pictures." They were goofy pictures. They were not. They were not trying to be glammed up and gorgeous and beautiful. They were trying to look like frumpy prisoners, in these photos. And then the question is, well, who wore it better? And blah, 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 blah. And I was taking a look at that. And I don't mean to be offensive with this statement in any way. So if you think it is, I'm sorry. I looked at that picture and I felt a quick surge of gratefulness that these actors still get to act. Because if it wasn't for soaps, they would be
Mm.
playing a grandma in one movie every 5 years.
Mm.
That's a fact.
So I just felt a sense of just thankfulness that the genre of soaps has existed and an actor is able to find their path in their career and their life, basically working on that soundstage decade after decade with no seeming expiration date for the character, so long as there's still a story to be told about them.
Right, right. And the beauty of it too is, and we heard actors say this as well. The beauty of it is they go into the same location. They're not traveling around.
No.
They're leading a regular life. When they get to go home, they go home for the day. They go home for the day, just like we all do. I since doing a podcast, this over 4 years now, I
Mhm.
I I really, really genuinely have a sense of just how normal these folks are. And I think, you just have at least I did,
Mm-hmm.
like somehow they're separated from regular folks.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah. Once
They're
you
not.
pull
They
that
have the same concerns we do. They have the same challenges we do. You know, it's exactly the same. They got a 2-year-old that throws their food too, and one that's an
when
11-year-old that's starting to get a smart mouth. They
well,
have all that too.
oh, let me do this interview in the car because my toddler's just going to take over the frame if I don't.
Yeah.
Exactly. We heard that last week. Huh?
Kelly says actors are real people too. They house clean, they mow the lawn and such. It's true.
Exactly.
It's true. They play with their grandkids and hope for the best and dream of the future and want their kids to go to
Sure.
college and all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah, and of course I've always known that, but since starting to have podcasts
Mm-hmm.
and actually meeting some of these individuals, you
Yeah.
realize, yeah, they are just like me.
Yeah.
They are flawed humans
Uh-huh. Yeah.
with
They're
talents,
just regular
just
people.
like me.
Yeah. Just
They have
regular
bigger
people.
talents than I do, but you know what I mean. With
Sometimes an actor is very similar to their character, and sometimes they're not. Like I was blown away with how different Robert Scott Wilson is from Alex.
Mhm.
He's soft spoken and artsy, and Alex is just like, "Come into my bedroom, lady." So it's pretty different. Pretty different. Kimmy, hi
Yeah.
Kimmy. Is this your first time included in participating in the chat? Hello.
Yeah.
Kimmy says Drake's son Ben played Lucas on General Hospital between
Mhm.
2005 and 2007.
Oh wow.
Ben Hogestyn.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what that person looks like. I can't recall.
I don't know either. I'm gonna have to look it up right now. He looks like a early 2000s actor.
Look anything like his dad?
Not really. But I'm pretty face blind to stuff. Oh goodness, let me
I wonder if his son
show the
still
people here.
acts, or if it was, something he did short.
Hello. David Paul Morris, Getty Images. Is this the right guy? I hope so. Is this the right dude? Whatever.
But I think, I think for a lot of us though, not us, the three of us, but I think a lot of fans were kind of floored by yesterday's news because they didn't.
Uh-oh. Mom, I got frozen.
Shock.
Oh, I got frozen too. Oh God. What's going on? Can you say that again, Ma? I totally missed it.
Your internet connection is unstable.
Oh.
Get in line,
What did I
internet
say?
connection.
It's spilling onto mine too.
Oh my
How am I
goodness.
the only one without an unstable internet connection?
I don't know. That's
The
pretty rare,
universe
right?
just goes, there's enough unstable in that house. Your internet connection, we got you.
Your internet connection is safe.
Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Did we turn the heater on in the house? Why did we turn the heater on?
There's a heaters on?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm in
LA in
Boston, and
September,
I don't
there's
even
not
have
a
the heater on.
Ugh.
Someone hit the switch to the wrong side. Heat
There
and
ain't
cool,
no switch.
you
It's a dial thing. It's very
know?
digital.
Oh, goodness.
It's a very digital. Anyway, thank you for joining the chat, Kimmy. Thank you for joining us here today, remembering Drake Hogestyn playing John Black on Days of Our Lives. Super weird, super unstructured. I don't know who's actually ever going to want to listen to this thing. It's just us kind of moping around and being sad, but blindsided, says Laura. Yeah, I mean, it just
Exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying exactly. Is that I think that some fans, not us, but some fans and some viewers really got a gut punch yesterday because they didn't know that he was ill, as they shouldn't have known he was ill because he didn't want us to know he was ill.
So I saw a clip today of him and Stephen Nichols, who plays Steve, Johnson, old Patchy.
Oh, Patchy, as we call him.
There was a clip that they did backstage, whatever. You know how they do on Instagram. They film a little 2-minute thing of them just being buds, right? And so they're doing it, and he's talking about the Emmys because Drake Hogestyn has never been nominated for the Emmy because he's never submitted.
Never.
Oh, wow.
And so Steven was making fun of him. It's like, this is the year, man. This is the year. And it's like, it's not going to be the year, Steve. I know it's not going to be the year. No, it's going to be the year. It's going to be the year. No. You see, it cost $500. And Nichols is like, $250. It cost $250. He says, I'm not going to do it. You see,
like,
my dad always
still
said. What was that?
He's like, yeah, still no.
Yeah, still no. And then he goes, my dad always said, like just I don't know what the quote was. It's some old timey, 1930s quote of stuff. But he said his dad always said essentially to keep just stay out of the spotlight. Do your thing, but don't put yourself too much out there in the public eye. And so he said, as my dad says, so I'm just going to do that. Instead, he's like, fine, we're going to start a collection. And we're going to submit for you. We're going to put together a reel. We're going to start a collection plate, and we're going to submit for you. And I'm here to say right now, my Matt Theall, I'm going to say my last name, right here, live on Days for Dummies. It's not like you guys didn't know. It's right here. Hi. All I got to do is just mouse over. Do not do that. Now that he's gone, do not.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, oh, I wonder.
Whatever the right word is, posthumously. Do not.
Posthumously? Yeah,
do not do that.
I don't think they will. I mean, the show has always respected that he didn't want to be submitted. So they haven't. Because the shows can submit them themselves, but they've always respected that he didn't want to. So I don't think now they will unless they got his permission.
Unless it's in some sort of
so he's like, clear. Fine, now you can do it.
So I
wonder if he'd be opposed like a lifetime kind of thing, not necessarily
an
for
honorary
scene work for like a lifetime achievement, like Susan Lucci got when we were there.
Yeah.
Wonder if he would have been opposed to that.
It's clear that there was some plan, some at least a minor one when it came to the releasing of information, because we went from one random person on Twitter, talking out of turn, so to say, to official press releases with information. Like Days of Our Lives wrote a couple of paragraphs and included the pancreatic cancer.
Well, I think they had it ready because he went into hospice care the other day. They knew it was imminent.
So that's what I'm saying, though, is that clearly Drake had some sort of plan on how he wants this to be handled, if he wants the information to go out, because as soon as he was gone, they said, he's gone and here's how. Like, so to me, that was like, all right, we're going to keep this quiet until we can't keep it quiet anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I just think that he wanted his family to be able to get through to the end of it
without the hordes of people camped outside their house.
Right.
Because that would happen. Just like I saw the other day that somebody had
social media.
Right. Saw
You know,
somebody
his kids
sent.
and his kids and their spouses and his wife, they all have social media,
Hmm.
which gives people access to them.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't
Mhm.
need that. And even just, I think it was Holly over on General Hospital, who shared a picture of her with 3 enormous bouquets of flower that were sent to the dressing room from fans who love the
Hmm.
fact that Holly's been on set
Yeah.
and all that.
Emma Sam's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emma Sam's. And so I saw that picture and I'm like, wow. And now that you mention this, Angela, it really kind of puts those two things together for me because this woman is just showing up to work and can't get into her dressing room because people like her.
And she said that she's received flowers every day since she's been back on set.
So
And that's
Wow.
been
so
weeks.
can you imagine that if you're going to set
Actually,
and
probably months at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
and people knew that you were
Yeah.
sick the whole time,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to get work done.
Yeah.
No,
So
no.
that
And you
makes a
would
lot of
never
sense.
have an opportunity to put it in your back of your mind and just try to not to concentrate on it for a few hours,
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Try to have some resemblance of normalcy still.
Yeah. Jeannie, yes, to answer your question, yes. My untagged, very unspecific tweet about keeping information to yourselves was about Drake. I don't know anything about Kelly Monaco.
It
I couldn't
was.
tell you anything about the Kelly Monaco situation. The amount of information I've heard about Kelly Monaco is so in conflict with the next story that I hear that I have no idea what the truth is.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
M. Sam's is doing
Oh,
his
sorry. What was
weird.
the question? I'm sorry. What was their question?
It wasn't really much. It was just about a tweet that I made about keeping
Oh.
info to yourself, which you
Oh,
liked and
okay.
saw, you know.
Okay. I heard a portion of what you were saying. I thought they were asking about info about Kelly Monaco. I was
Well,
just
I mean,
trying to
to a
get upset.
degree, because they wanted to know if my tweet was about Kelly, but no, it was about Drake. And then I followed up saying that the conflicting information that I've heard about Kelly Monaco is so extreme that I don't know what the truth is.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
anything when I know what's going on with her. We know that she's filmed her last day. We know they're killing off Sam.
yeah, and that's pretty much the end of it.
Yeah.
So
That's all I'm going to confirm.
I think that's all that anybody's gonna say. Uh, That's a mixed bag of fame, says Lara. Yeah, I mean, being a soap star must just be the most rewarding and unique experience. I want to talk to Wally Kurth more about it because he let us know at Day of Days kind of a little insight into how
Mhm.
enjoyable it can be to be a soap actor, where you get to go and be on TV and be an actor and live your dreams and play these silly stories and then also go home at the end of the day. I would love to hear about that more, what it's like for the work-life balance.
And
And
he also said yes, he's recognizable, but he doesn't necessarily get approached every time he goes out of the house.
right,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
he's not that kind of famous, but of course he is still a celebrity. But he can still have a normal trip to Target.
yes. And I just, with somebody who's achieved the perfection, I want to say, that Drake Hogestyn did, because he clearly was able to have that work-life balance. He had friends, he had family, he had success, he had extreme success on television, and probably even more success with his family.
Mhm.
I want the show to, I just want to be very satisfied and happy with how this happens on television. I can't be satisfied and happy with how it happened in real life beyond respecting how he wanted to handle this. Um,
Mhm.
Mhm.
when it comes to somebody passing away, I recognize that a lot of the emotion that is felt about somebody passing away is from the people who are still here, not necessarily the person who is no longer with us. Whatever your belief system is, Drake Hogestyn is no longer worried about everything that's been going on here and
No,
has
he's
a whole new experience, or not, depending on your point of
Yeah.
view. But
Mhm.
however you cut it, what's happening with us and on this planet is no longer of any concern to him. Um,
Mhm.
and that I always find to be the silver lining of somebody passing.
Especially if it's something that they've been suffering.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
they've been suffering with their body betraying them here on the planet, you
Mhm.
know,
Michelle, we do believe that Drake did film the end of John's story. We don't have confirmation about that, but we do believe that he did, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some statements out there. If you read between the lines, it seems as though they
Yeah.
were able to work it in. Just to continue to just kill that point. Yeah, I want to.
Well,
I
Angela,
want it
you
to do
mentioned that
well.
you had some, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, no.
Angela, you mentioned that you had some of his co-stars responses.
Yeah, I actually just saw another one too. Galen Gehring, who plays Rafe,
Mm-hmm.
just posted, and I'll share a few of them, but this one because it just popped up. And there's great pictures on all of these Instagrams and just stuff of Drake and these actors and a lot of behind the scenes. But Galen said, I was lucky enough to go on a special trip with Drake and represent days in South Africa. We went from Johannesburg to Cape Town and had moments where thousands of people cheered for us to times walking on deserted beaches. The one constant in it all was Drake. Always just awesome to be around. We laughed so much, I mean, my face hurt every day. We were in his element, surrounded by people and animals. The energy he had was contagious, and people gravitated towards him. He always took time for everyone and made them feel special. Drake was such a great storyteller, and I knew at some point on the trip we were creating one he would eventually tell. This adventure would be a square added to the extraordinary quilt of his life. One of the things Drake would often say among his many isms was, well, that was a below average feeling. And as I sit here and write this, I can definitely relate. Thank you for the memories and the good times and being an incredible steward for the show. You are loved and you are missed. Sending my condolences to your beautiful family. I know you cherished beyond measure. Rest in peace, my friend.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Even that reference of below average is a baseball reference, y'all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is.
absolutely. A below average feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a baseball reference.
Super funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to navigate to these Instagram posts as you're reading them, Angela, so I can show the people the pictures that are being shared. We got one of Drake just yucking it up on the beach. Just
Mm-hmm.
what? You know how, we have, I know more about General Hospital just because that's just been the podcast for most of the time. So the amount of stories that I've heard about the actors relating to each other and having a good time are more on the GH end. But when I take a look at a picture like this, and I'm sorry that I can't share this with you right now without just blowing up the entire podcast. I might just blow up the entire podcast so you can see this. Podcast blown up.
Aw.
So this picture of him just smiling, right? Just smiling on the scene just makes me think of the stories that we heard of Robert and Luke, of just them out on adventure in some place somewhere, just having a great time making a TV show. I don't know who's in the picture with him. I don't know if it's another actor that's on the show, a friend of the family, a writer. I don't know who this woman is, but they are having the time of their dang lives in this photo, mother.
Yep.
Oh man. Well, who else should I look up, Angela? You got any more on there? You wanna share with the people?
Yep. Kyle Lauder, who played Rex.
Okay.
Drake Hogestyn was not only my TV dad, he was a real life father figure to me. I began my career as a nervous 19-year-old kid on days, having just moved to LA, and right before our very first scene, he grabbed my shoulders and said, I got you, kid. And he had me every step of the way. Drake was one of the kindest, most generous men I've ever known, with an unparalleled enthusiasm for life. It's brutally hard to accept the reality of his passing. I will deeply miss you, Drake. The world has truly lost one of the best.
The way that Drake Hogestyn played John Black with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Unique. You don't see a lot of physical affection between fathers and their sons on television. You probably don't see a lot of that in life either. But it was always apparent with John Black, and I can only imagine that it was the same with Drake Hogestyn as well. The genuineness, the reality that existed in the relationships that he crafted with these actors on television between the characters that they were playing is one of a kind. I don't think the reason why we all love John Black and Drake Hogestyn so much is because of the moments and the relationships that he was able to create on television for us.
Absolutely.
And you can see it in all three of these pictures that his name was Kyle, right? Kyle Loader.
Mhm.
You can see it in all three of the pictures that he chose to share on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, you can just tell by the words that are written on in these tributes that there's not a person that wrote these that didn't have tears rolling down their face as they typed. You can
Yeah,
see it.
yeah, yeah.
You see it in the words.
I was there, Drake, Galen, and Ari in Stanton, Johannesburg. I was there for Drake, Galen. Ari was just a bonus. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Michelle, but yeah. Hugs, hugs, hugs to you, Angela. You're getting love from the
Thanks,
chat
guys.
right now. It's hard. It's hard. Now, when it comes to Mom and I, we just got to know John Black and Drake Hogestyn last year.
Mm-hmm.
The moment this man walked onto the screen, though, I knew that he was my favorite character on Days of Our Lives, though.
He sure was from the very moment, Matt.
Yeah.
He walked on the screen. It was him and Steve, and they were dealing with with crazy Nurse Whitley and the whole Abe
Mhm.
situation. They had chased down fake Theo,
Mm-hmm.
in which I learned was real Theo, but now not real Theo anymore because he was the actor. So Theo was like a little kid, and this actor who was playing fake Theo played Theo as a little kid, and then they recast with Soares and all that, and it was no longer him. But when they were trying to trick drugged up Abe, who didn't remember anything, that this is your kid Theo, they picked that same actor to come back, and I thought that was brilliant. But the first time I ever saw John Black was with him and old Patchy
Mm-hmm.
confronting this guy,
Mm-hmm.
trying to intimidate him, trying to make it seem like they were going
I
to
remember
rough him
that.
up.
I
If it
remember
wasn't,
that.
you gotta hold me back, partner. You just gotta hold me back from. I'm gonna let him have it. Instant love. Instant. And it made me want to watch everything that there is with John Black. And I'll say, laziness is real. There's been an intent on my mind to go back and watch this man.
Mm-hmm.
Intent to do it and do it and do it. And I've just never clicked on a video. And I've never gone into the folders that have
Well,
been shared
you
with
know,
me
I
of the
have the
historical stuff.
whole, yeah.
I know, and that's what I'm referring to. I've never clicked on what I have it. I've looked at it from time to time. I see how greatly organized it is, but I haven't gone into it to click anything yet.
You know
And
what I
now
thought?
I'm ashamed. I should have.
What
Not too late. He left this all for us.
I remember an episode, and this is what I thought when I saw that. I thought, what kind of goofy goodness is this?
Yes, right.
This is goofy goodness.
Goofy goodness. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that is Days of Our Lives for sure. They all went to South Africa to promote Days airing there. Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to not cry with all these touching tributes, says Laura, and it's true. And it's true. And we could dominate the rest of the day doing this, but I think we should probably give ourselves a break from it all.
Read all his co-stars tributes though, guys. They're all
Yeah.
over the place. And also, I really just want to say there are co-stars we have not heard from, and there are going to be co-stars we don't hear from. You know, people like Deidre Hall, Eric Marstoff, this was somebody who wasn't just their co-star. You know what I mean? This is, I mean, for all of these people, he wasn't just a co-star, but they don't owe us their grief. Just keep in mind that, if they don't say anything or if they take a while to do it, they are going through their own grieving processes, and show them some grace, and we're not entitled to their grief.
Oh.
So even if they don't say anything, that's not a reflection on their relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's not something they want to share with us, and that's okay.
It is really easy for you to write about a friend. It's very easy to pull out a memory and write about a friend, somebody that you worked with, a coworker that you had for a long time.
Right.
It is very different to pull out the words of
Yeah.
the star that you have made your career with,
Yes.
who everybody's always like, well, where's this guy when you show up on screen? It is a
Right.
completely different thing. I saw a tweet earlier yesterday. I was like, somebody needs to check on Deidre.
Yeah. Well, I
No,
mean,
we don't need to
we don't
tell
need to.
anybody to go
Right.
check on Deidre. If
Right.
you
Deidre's
think
people
that
are
nobody has
have Deidre.
thought of Deidre Hall
Yeah.
during this moment, that her
Right.
own kids, family, and husband
Right.
have not been with her every moment since she learned that Drake Hogestyn passed,
Yeah.
you are just
Honestly,
looking for
it wouldn't
attention.
surprise me if we heard later that she was with his family.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Me either.
You know,
know,
when I learned of his passing yesterday, I thought about his family. I
Mhm.
thought about his wife and his family. But this, you know, outside of that, the first person I thought of was Deidre.
Mhm.
You know,
I
this has
guarantee
got
somebody's
to
checked
be
on her.
so difficult for her. But you're right, Angela.
Yeah.
Let's give all of these folks some grace.
Right. You know, so don't make conclude, you know, I see it so many times, like when Matthew Perry died.
Mm-hmm.
It took the Friends actors a while to say anything, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like,
They got to process
this
it.
isn't. Yes, exactly. This is, you know, they're dealing with a death, same as anybody else does,
Mm-hmm.
but they have to do it on a public stage, and you know, we are not owed their grief. This is not performative.
Yeah.
This is not for our consumption, and if they choose to express it this way, that's fine. Regular people do that in real life as well when they've experienced a death, but it's not owed to anybody. And I really don't want to see, I will be very not nice to anybody I see.
Angela doesn't hold back on the social media, folks, so stay on her good side. And I wouldn't be surprised if Deidre Hall doesn't want to do Day of Days in a month either. I wouldn't be surprised if
It
she
wouldn't be if
she backs
I
out of
mean,
that.
it wouldn't surprise me if she doesn't want to, but it also wouldn't surprise me if she still does.
Yeah.
Because Drake would be the first one telling her.
Ah, you gotta do it, Doc.
You know, Drake,
you gotta get out there.
Drake believed that they, you know, owed fan interaction to the fans.
Well, I mean,
You know, that they were there.
good.
That they were, you know, he believed that, you know, that they're there because of the fans.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, this was a way they could give back. And
I mean, it is. I'm being sensitive because I
saw him
don't.
less than a year ago at
Yeah.
Day of Days.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm thinking he could have already knew he was sick.
He probably did.
If he didn't know he was sick then, he found out real shortly
Shortly
after.
after.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, and so, and he was still there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was less than a year ago. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Well, maybe she will be there. I mean, I don't really
right,
know
yeah.
her. I was being sensitive because I
I
didn't want her to have to hear from every single person
Absolutely.
all
And
day
if-
long. I'm so
Right.
sorry.
Oh, absolutely. And if any of the actors choose that they need to pull out of it because they just can't spend that day talking about him in that setting.
Yeah. Yeah. No harm on that.
And it's not very far away. Day of Days is November 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very far away.
Well.
Be here before you know it.
Well, we should get off. We should get out of here. We should click the off button and and give this an emotional break. We'll be back at 11. I don't know how long we'll talk about GH. There's definitely a black cloud over the entire day over Soapland, and the reaction isn't limited to just people who worked with Drake on Days of Our Lives. Billy Warlock has said things.
Billy Warlock was on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, was he? Okay. Well, then never mind.
So was Jeannie Francis before you get there.
Well, I'm not going to say her. I was going to say Will DeVry. How about Will DeVry? Was he on Days?
Possibly, yeah. I don't know for sure.
Whatever. Who cares?
It is a revolving door.
The whole point is
in the genre, and the entire genre is a family.
the whole point is what Angela just said.
Mhm.
So it's not just limited to people who are working with him right now. It's people who knew him before. So we're getting out of here for now. We'll be back at 11 to talk about General Hospital. We'll see what that's like. Go spend some time with your families. I've
Yes.
been Matt.
I've been Kat.
Not been Angela with Matt and Kat.
And we'll see you in a little bit.